thank you to Water Wheel Little Horse for their generous donation on Patreon.
So we got to go in one more time to Jenna's route and see what happens when we pick Jenna. Okay. So this is the moment that's different, because before it was Micah. So we're back in Heather's house. Let's see how Jenna does. Considering the ending we got was pretty fucking good, I'm thinking this is the bad ending. Oh god. Jenna also steps in, her arms already raised. Heather brings up the gun and points it at her. Oh fuck, man. Oh, I'm worried. Because Micah got shot. And he has wings. Jenna don't have no damn wings. Oh, man. Okay, so now this is saying Micah. I don't know. We've already had one moment where this was... So, I'll just... Hannah, what the fuck are you doing? That says Micah's voice. It's me, Micah. What? What? It even says it's me, Micah, but it's not. It says Jenna steps in. I don't care, you need to go. What? She brings a revolver up, aiming it unsteadily at the lot of us. Okay, so Jenna tells Micah to stop talking. So maybe Micah was just there and we didn't... Okay, so maybe that was not a mistake. I don't fucking know. Micah, stop talking. That's a fucking dad in the closet. I know. I will kill all of you. Oh! Shot rings out and I feel something spray against my face. Quickly reach up, rubbing my cheeks and finding a bit of plaster from the wall next to me all over my face and shirt. My blood turns to ice as I realize there's a bullet hole about 6 inches from my head. Leo's eyes bulge as he starts to move, but stops when that revolver is swiveled towards him. Heather! Jenna shouts, quickly trying to get her attention. Heather. She says her name again, this time softly now, and the wild-eyed feline is looking at her. We're here looking for Carl. Remember, like we mentioned during the bonfire? Kat's chest rises, she's hyperventilating. You know, we know that one. Been that way since the thing. She goes over to Carl, says she's gonna fucking shoot him. Calls him ugly. That's mean. She's crying. He's scared. Okay. Sounds good. We're happy to leave. Jenna does her best to put on a calm face as she nods to the rest of us. We'll take Carl with us, and we'll be out of your hair. We're planning on leaving town. Okay, so this is the difference. Micah was verbally like, what the fuck, no, that plan sucks. Whereas Jenna, in this one, comes up with that plan as opposed to us. She says, leave. I have nowhere to go, nowhere. Oh, used to be bad. Keith, talking about Keith. He says mean things. Heather, Keith is gone. He can't be speaking to you. I believe what you're hearing is a side effect of the hum. She looks over at Micah, who gives her a nod. Duh, stupid. You're so mean. You know that? You think you're so smart. Uh-oh. You think you're so much better than we are. Uh-oh. This didn't happen last time. I know you do. Jeremy told me. Jen opens her mouth to protest, but Heather shrieks a blubbering ew. She begins to press her finger closer to the... Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Carl, get... Jenna puts a paw on Leo's chest, trying to hold him back from as Heather's chest heaves. Now that's the booklet she was going to use to fucking do the thing. We realize TJ and Flynn are outside. Jenna spots them. Ooh. Oh, didn't see that before. Jenna spots us too, turning so that her back faces the window. She swishes her tail from side to side. With Jenna in the way, Flynn won't try to take a shot, right? The idea of Flynn shooting anyone is unfathomable in its own right. Ooh. Heather, what do you mean? How are you going to fix the town? I'm gonna make it so there is no town. As Heather turns away, she catches a glimpse of the blood on the folder. She looks back toward the closet, screams, and she looks above it, Daddy, and she fucking runs. Still about checking Micah. He wasn't even involved, and she's still getting fucked. Okay, so the skip option came up, so everything is the same here now. Okay, we're at the bridge. Everything seems to be the same here as well. What the is really everything just the... Okay, so now Mike is getting... Yeah, I'm sure I could have been just as smooth as if I had been up there, the one talking Heather down. He's getting fucking shitty about it. I look at Mike and can't tell if he's being serious or not. Whatever you say, little buddy. So that was a different line of dialogue. So was there really not much of a difference? I'm gonna look into it real quick, because I want to make sure there was really no difference to the ending there. I'm gonna look into it for a second, hold on. Okay, so I looked on the Itch.io page, and there also seemed to be some confusion from other people who were a bit confused about the bad ending. And I think within reason, because like all the other times there's a bad ending, there's a choice at the end that seems to affect it. On this one, commenter Avian Vivo is saying that, I wish I had seen this before I got rid of so many of my fucking saves, that if you when you talk to her on Thursday, agree with her and say that the town breaks people, and it'll lock you into the bad ending. So I'm gonna have to go from the fucking beginning, which sucks, but I don't know another way to fucking get there. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. This town breaks people. And apparently this will lock us into the bad ending. As confirmed by Avian Vivo and Mono D. Oh, this is interesting. This was not here before. Find some scattered plastered dust and marks of the wall near the basement crawl space. Because in Carl's route, that's where he is. He's in the crawl space. Yeah, maybe there could have been like an initial scuffle down there and he was held at like gunpoint or something. Yeah, that's very likely. This seems to be different. You see, the only difference seems to be really this line. Maybe. Where she's saying, like, he shouldn't be treating you like that. Talking about Micah, and we're all adults. I saw what someone said might happen. And it kind of does hinge on the fact that Jenna gets more and more disillusioned and upset at the town. But it may or may not be what was said there, so I don't know. Oh, okay, here's a difference. This is the scene where they're all around the bonfire, and Heather's trying to say, like, I don't know why we were mad at each other, because the name Jasmine popped in my head, and I'm like, ooh, that bitch, but I just saw you now, and it all seems to be silly. And then this is where the difference came in. Jenna doesn't even seem to react to Heather at first. Shuts off the screen to her phone and exhales, looking Heather in the eye. She doesn't speak immediately, and there's this sort of latent tension in the air. Silly isn't exactly the word I'd use. Dark look crosses Jenna's face, her tail stiff behind her. Your behavior throughout high school was utterly abhorrent towards me, and I think you know that. Heather's face drops, the cat clutching her arm. I told you my memory is bad, Jazz. She puts on a kind of babyish voice as she says this, looking sheepishly at Jenna. Do you honestly need a reminder? Heather begins shaking her head, but Jenna is already speaking, her tone curt. You were rude to me, even when I'd done nothing to you, but I figured you were just insecure and left it at that. Then one night you came to me with no one else to turn to. Tears in your eyes, you let me know everything that was going on with you at home. From that point forward, I was ready to defend you, to help in any way I could, short of going to the police, of course, because you begged me not to. It started out as little things, the favors. You were too emotionally distressed to do your homework, so I should do it. It's starting to sound familiar. I checked. No, this is still different. You couldn't come to class because of a panic attack, and the teacher wouldn't understand, so I should lie for you. You needed money to see a friend in Peyton, so I should give you the money. This went on for some time until eventually enough was enough. I had my own problems, especially at home. I just couldn't juggle the well-being of everyone. That is not my responsibility. I told you up front that I was going through a tough time and couldn't do those favors for you anymore, but I was always available to talk. That wasn't good enough, was it? Despite being busy with your fractured home life and the stresses of school, you still found time to create your elaborate revenge on the one person who cared enough to help. Next thing I know, your latest boyfriend of the week and his friends are pounding on my front door at 10 p.m. And what does he tell Mom and Dad when they open the door? She deepens her voice, putting on a dude bro accent. Yo, I'm just looking for Jasmine. She told us to meet out here to get some. So not only did they convince my idiotic parents that I was fucking 5 guys, including your boyfriend, you told the whole school! I had my paw smashed in a locker, was fired from my part-time job, and lost almost all of my friends outside of a select few great people. Jenna looks over, gesturing at both Flynn and my direction. You made yourself the sufferer in that narrative, the one who had mistakenly trusted the weird, horny anime girl. Jenna takes in a sharp breath from her nostrils, her composure otherwise completely solid. And you don't even have the dignity to atone for your actions when the chance is standing right in front of you. You continue to lie and manipulate your way through every social interaction to make yourself feel better. It's the perpetuation of this endless cycle of perceiving yourself as the sort of eternal victim, when in reality, it's complete delusion that hurts you and everyone around you. With the way Jenna rattles off point after point regarding Heather's transgressions, it's evident that this is something that she's thought about greatly. Maybe even rehearsed. Heather stands there in this sort of wide-eyed, slack-jawed look on her face. You can practically feel the burning of Heather's cheeks, the shock of Jenna's words settling in, and her eyes beginning to moisten with tears. And by the way, it's Jenna now, not Jasmine. Oh, damn. I know. Heather moans slowly. She is having an attack now. It's like she's trying to refute what Jenna said, but she can't form the words. All she can do is make this bizarre whining noise. You're wrong. You've always had to be right, but you're really, really wrong. Oh, man. She's having a very adverse reaction, and justifyingly so, I imagine. Her paws curl into fists as she shakes and dignified. Flynn and I look at each other, and there she goes. Before we can say anything further, she storms off. In the distance, we can see her start running, her arms flailing with a palsy-like limpness at her sides. Can't help but feel a sort of queasy sensation at the sight. This is what this place does to people. Jenna, meanwhile, just lets out a long sigh. Wow. World's worst fucking psychiatrist, Jesus H. You feel better now? Jenna looks over at Flynn. Perhaps. It was cathartic. I didn't know about most of that. I just thought she was mean to you or something, like standard high school girl stuff. Yeah. Must be nice getting the chance to do that, huh? There's some bitterness to Flynn's words. Probably ain't gonna help us find Carl, though. It needed to be said. Flynn grunts, shaking his head some in disbelief. Right fucking now, though? God damn! Down the hill a ways, the dusty shape of two figures can be seen emerging from an old shed. One of them pauses as they see Heather sprinting off down the road, while the other ignores her and carries on. Eventually, though, both of them see us and begin making their way in our direction. Oh, boy. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do the bit. Yo, yeah, fucking, I don't care, whatever. I'm not saying the word. Here comes the gang. He spits on the ground, the faint smell of his venom wafting in the breeze for a moment. Guessing he bit the cap too hard. Not all of them. I quietly shimmy my way over to Jenna's side, lowering my voice some. Are you okay? Jenna seems slightly surprised at the question, giving me a light smile. I'm good, Chase. Thank you for the concern. After what just happened, I'm not sure how much I buy that, but I'm not going to press the issue. Oh, there's a difference. Heather screaming, I'm not a victim, Jasmine. You bitch. Oh, boy. Alright, here's something that seems to be different. The morning after we have our dream about the death of Sam, Jenna is talking to us. You know, I keep dreaming about my grandmother. Really? Yes, it's strange. Especially the one from last night. She pauses. I wait, looking at her expectantly. I was younger, and in my bedroom back in my parents' place. Oh, it didn't look like my bedroom, and everything was kind of hazy, but I could hear the old hot water heater in the corner. I was being read a story from one of those children's books with the golden spines. You know the ones, right? I nod. Oh, yeah. I hadn't thought about those in ages. My parents used to read them to me all the time when I was little. Couldn't fall asleep without them. Oh, I can't recall ever being read a story outside of school, so that's why it was a bit unusual. Who was reading you the story, then? Hold on, I'll get to that in a second. The story was a fairly basic medieval fairy tale, with the king having been eaten by a dragon and a brave warrior venturing out to slay the beast. Despite it being a story I was being told, it was kind of like watching it all happen for real, like on a TV. The warrior travels a great distance to confront this dragon, and when they finally find him, they falter. Inside the dragon's lair, the warrior finds a baby dragon, whom the big one was trying to protect. The king had wanted the dragons dead, stating that they were all monstrous, uncaring devils. But at seeing the big dragon protect his young, the warrior knows this is not the whole truth, and spares the dragon. Noble guy. It wasn't a guy. In fact, I believe it was my grandmother? The one you told me about? Yes. How do you know that? Jenna's brow furrows slightly as she thinks. I'm not sure exactly. At the time, it felt implicit, obvious. Like, who else could it be? So, warrior grandma doesn't kill the dragon, and then what happens? Her gaze shifts as if searching for something fleeting. I don't think anything happened. It just sort of hard cut back to my bedroom. I could see the sun just starting to rise through the window. The sky was still orangey and red. You know, like how it gets during a drought when there's lots of dust in the air. Despite all this, the room looked even darker. I couldn't see who was reading the story to me, just that they had these big red eyes. And then I woke up. Dots. That last part sounds familiar for some reason, but I'm having a difficult time remembering why. Wow? Jenna looks slightly embarrassed with herself, fussing with her head for as she sits up some. Discussing dreams can be a great way to help discern internal stressors in one's life. Her tone is slightly defensive, the fennec using words way too fancy for this early in the morning. The problem is, dreams are often deeply personal abstractions that... She stops, frowning to herself some, then glances at the clock on the nightstand. Okay, now we got, as they're about to switch to the duty to search, skip. Okay, so this is different. This is where it's Chase and Leo are in the trailer with Micah right before Brian shows up, and it looks as though Leo just fucking shouted, "You better not fucking hurt him, you fat fuck." But this is he's saying that to Jeremy because Brian shows up later, right? So yeah, Leo just blew our chance of figuring out where Carl is through your method. He's your fucking dead. Now what's your point? Those two, or at least Clint, probably knows what happened after the phone call you mentioned last night. A sick, twisted feeling starts to settle into my stomach. Stomach! Micah looked at me with a dumbfounded expression. This may be our one chance at, finding where Carl is. Through torture? Fuck me, schizo. Don't be a bitch and get out of here. He shoves my shoulder, but I manage to keep myself from toppling over, steadying myself on a mildewy countertop. Don't touch me. I'll touch y'all like goddamn one. My life here is over thanks to you. Yeah? What a life it was. Dealing drugs, trying to rob my friend, then covering up a kidnapping. You don't know how fucking good you have it, you musky ass bitch. Ass bitch. I don't know where Carl is, so don't pin that shit on me yet. Bat glances out of the window and does a quick double take. Oh. Now it's back now. Okay, so I guess that's just another hint towards the hostility towards everything. Are we gonna see the fucking thing? Oh, where's the... Uh-oh. There it is. Ugh. Yay. Hate that shit. Sunday. Ooh, that's so cool. They got the blinking red light in the van. That's so fucking cool. Dag. Just do it. I'm saving around this choice, even though I don't think it would happen, but and if they would change anything, but I am choosing Jenna again to see if that fucking affects things. That's fucking interesting. Okay, so I chose Jenna, but Micah's the one that's stepping forward. So if we choose Jenna, the dialogue all stays the same, but she doesn't do it. She doesn't try to defend them. Oh! Damn! Jenna's out there with them. Okay, so this is when Flynn is outside and has is able to take the shot, possibly. Jenna's out there with them. She didn't even go in the room after she said she was gonna be the one to go. Oh my god! She's speaking to Flynn, pointing. The lizard is shaking, saying something back. The back and forth continues. Is she trying to tell him to take the shot? There it is! There it is! After she said, Daddy, glass shattered against my back, showering Carl below. Heather lurches forward, trying to scream, but all that spews forth from her mouth is blood. Jenna told Flynn to take the shot. Holy shit! It pulls through her gritted teeth into a puddle on the floor, Heather failing to gasp for air as fluid fills her lungs. She falls headfirst into the pool of her own fluids, tears still rolling down her face. Mike stands with his head in his hands, a look of shock plastered on his face. Nobody moves. Nobody says anything. Jen enters the room first, her turquoise eyes fixed on the bloody form laying in the center of the room. Notice how she's not shocked, but Flynn fucking is. Flynn is right behind her, looking initially rather gormless. Word of the day, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck is gormless? Chiefly British, lacking intelligence, stupid. Okay. Flynn is right behind her, looking initially rather gormless, though his eyes start to widen as he realizes what he's done. Oh. Good shot, Flynn. Everyone alright? I catch my breath against the wall, looking up only to see the slumped form still staring ahead in the closet. Quietly, I close the closet door. Yeah, I guess. Jenna looks over to Micah, spying the bullet hole in his wing. Her complexion darkens, and soon she's standing over Heather's body. Feline's eyes are still wide open, glassy with this sort of eternal shock. What?! Jenna promptly delivers a swift kick to her head! Heather's neck now's turned at a stiff angle. Bitch! Oh my god! This really is the bad ending. She is out for, well, blood, literally. Flynn rests his palms on his knees, exuding a dry retch. Leo steps over, trying to inspect Micah's wound. Flynn? Guys? Jenna's attention shifts to the ram on the floor. Carl, you can get up. It's safe now. We're free? Yes. And that makes 2 of these bastards who have tried to hurt us that we've put down. God damn! Flynn stops coughing up air long enough to gape at Jenna. That we put down? Flynn points to Heather. I killed her! I'm the one who pulled the trigger! Flynn's voice is strange, way more higher pitched than I'm used to. Right, after I told you to— Yeah! I listened to you! And now someone is fucking dead! Flynn covers his mouth, muttering quiet expletives. You saved everyone! Carl is okay, all thanks to you! TJ lingers in the doorway, half hidden behind it. Heather... She was leaving, we were all fine! Flynn sits in the corner, clutching his repeater with a grip so tight I figured the barrel would bend any second. Any second. Sorry, I was struggling for air. Fuck! Don't say that! Don't fucking say that! I have never seen Flynn like this. Figured he'd be the sort to take something like this as a necessity of the situation, but he's visibly shaking. Flynn, no one is going to prosecute you. She killed her dad and then shot Micah. You stopped her, saved your friend, saved Carl with a single shot. If you want to feel bad about this, that's your prerogative. Just stating the facts. Leo says nothing as he looks over Micah's wound, the bat himself visibly fuming. You told him to shoot even after she picked up her shit and was heading toward the fucking door? You killed my goddamn friend! That was not remotely apparent. The angle— Fuck you, you piece of shit! Just like Jeremy said, you act like you know everything, and then when shit fucks up, you blame everyone else! Seeing Jenna increasingly backed into a corner, I decide to speak up. I don't think that's exactly fair. Rot, bitch! Micah sees in my direction. Meanwhile, Leo mutters to him, seemingly trying to get him to calm down. Oh, is that where the moral high ground is? Where you're standing? You and your friends tried to break into Carl's house and tipped off his future kidnappers when he tried to flee from you. You are the entire reason we're here, Micah. You still defend them, even now after seeing what they're capable of? That's absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable? Who the fuck describes that being pissed that your friend got murdered as unacceptable? Jenna, it's a little more complicated than that. Let's just get Carl and hightail it out of Echo, yeah? Leo looks to me as if quietly asking for me to back him up on this. And what Heather's capable of? Finally finding strength to stop her fucking skeeve of a dad? True monster, that! Jenna ignores Micah, her attention now on Leo. Oh, is this complicated for you? I'm so sorry, Leo. I know your sense of right and wrong can be a little addled sometimes. You know, with you running around beating up people, sexually assaulting Chase in the mall, and fucking and filming a child? Bullshit! What? TJ's looking bleary-eyed and baffled in the doorway. Leo's jowls part, the wolf restraining a snarl as he releases his grip on Micah. His red eyes glare down at Jenna in its absolutely menacing image in this blood-soaked room. Come on, Carl, let's get you up. I'll grab some snacks and bandages and we can get you all sorted on the way back to Peyton, yeah? You too, Swiss cheese. He pats Micah's shoulder, the bat's nostrils flared. The group exits quietly, Flynn still quietly, with so many quietlies, shaking his head. Jenna has her back turned to me now, facing Heather's corpse. Reach out to her, speaking quietly now that we're the only ones in here. Jenna, they're just worked up. It's this hum business, making people say all the wrong things, right? Why don't we get out? Her voice is curt and strange. Words almost gurgled through the frustration and rage. Damn. The next thing I know, she's got her paw on my chest, pushing me out the door and slamming it behind me. Jesus Christ! Press my forehead against the window, watching my breath fog up the glass. Carl straddling the middle seat with Flynn driving, and they seem to be doing a good job of calming each other down. Everyone else is in the truck bed in the back. Everyone. Except Jenna. She left without even so much as a goodbye, insisting that she would take Heather's dad's car. I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. She kept claiming she had to do something. This is really making me think that that comment I read on the Itch.io page is correct, but for your sake, I'm not going to spoil it in case it's right. On our way out of town, we'd passed a couple of burning houses, and even heard a gunshot or two. It all makes me pretty damn glad this nightmare is almost over. Yet, we've been driving for nearly half an hour and still haven't reached the interstate. Usually Flint Road doesn't take that long to get through. Even Flynn is starting to get a little worried, checking for landmarks in the dark to make sure he hadn't missed a turn. You can still see the town in the distance, echo a glimmer of lights and smoke. 5 more minutes pass, but we eventually reach the interstate, emerging seemingly from nowhere. Streams of ambulances and police cars begin to pool in the opposite lane, all heading into town. Glance out the back window for one final look at Echo when I notice something amiss. The lake. It's bigger. Way bigger. The shore is almost all the way up to the highway, with trailers and small vehicles peeking out from the tide. The others see it too. It's then I remember something. When Jenna was leaving, there was something she was holding on to. A slightly bloody folder and booklet that she tucked away into the Reclamation Bureau vehicle before heading off. I suppose you won't be coming back after all. Oh. Fuck. Excellently put, kid. Damn. So the comment I read was correct. The bad ending is Jenna following through on Heather's plan of flooding the town. Dadgum, brother. That's a hell of a fucking exclamation point. Kind of sucks that the final episode's the bad ending. I do feel bad. Yeah, I genuinely feel bad that the last episode is a bad ending. 'Cause, like, I would much rather the finale of the series be a good ending. Oh, something's peeking up. Is that Jenna? Yeah, that's Jenna. Looks like Jenna from the CG before under the streetlight, but she's looking kind of evil. You know, and dark sockets for eyes and shit. Well, yeah, she just fucking murdered an entire town, so I imagine the evil that it has moved to her. Damn. Damn! God fucking damn it, that's... Oh, fuck, man. That's a much better sell of bad ending than the other ones. Because before they didn't have credits. When I saw them. This is the first bad ending I've seen that had the credits. I imagine the other ones would have a similar motif. Or at least hopefully, because this really sells that this was a bad fucking ending. God damn, dude. 6-year development cycle, and I've been here for 4 of them. Oh, picture's gone. Damn. Damn, Daniel. I do want to give, like, an overall thoughts on the series thing. Because, like, I do that, and every other time I've actually completed a game, I do that. At first I was thinking of doing, like, a post-mortem, like, my overall thoughts now that it's finished, just a separate video, but, like, I don't want this to be the ending sentiment. Just the bad ending. Because really we only went around to get it all, and I think that summarizes things, you know? Not the bad ending itself, but going back and seeing it all. Because in a lot of other games, I don't go back and see the bad endings because I don't want to see the badness, you know? But like... Okay. So here's the thing. This game has been my favorite visual novel for a while now. And for a lot of good reasons. This game is undeniably the most emotionally gripping visual novel I have ever played. The fear, the intrigue, it's absolutely unrelenting in its fucking mental assault. And so much so, they added a disclaimer to the itch.io page about it. And justifyingly so, because this shit is brutal. In so many ways, this shit is just absolutely brutal. And I know I've said multiple times, like, oh, I still don't know what's going on. There's enough pieces you can basically piece it all together, but still, like... I look forward to seeing what happens in the sequel. Because apparently, like, another thing I saw in the comments of the itch.io page is that the background artist apparently said that Arches is the darkest thing they've ever worked on, which in this field is saying something. So who knows? Maybe this is just the fucking beginning of the trauma. But, man, Man, this has been 4 years of my life, man. And I remember in the very beginning, there were a lot of people so many people were requesting me to play this game that, like, the first episode is titled, like, Finally the Time Has Come or some shit. Like, so many people wanted me to play it, and I don't know. This game, the lore of this game will occupy a large portion of my brain for many years to come, probably forever. As a game, it's the lack of choices is notable, and it kind of summarizes why in that line from The Ghost of Sam, you're indecisive, I choose. Especially in the choices that aren't really choices. So in a way, it kind of takes the format and turns it on its head, which I like. I like it when things utilize the format that it's being presented in. It's like that Bandersnatch. Boy, wasn't that a thing for all of a week. But no. This isn't my favorite art for characters in the world. The background art is undeniably nice. A lot of it is just pictures, but like, for having a unique setting, a unique story, and gripping in so many different ways, I don't know if there's ever going to be a visual novel that I like more than this. And considering I don't usually like horror games, or horror movies, or horror shows, or anything like that, it takes a lot. So who knows? All I know is I'm extremely grateful for having played it and for having experienced it. I'm looking forward to the sequel, and I'm loving the prequel. I've played 2 of the prequels already, that being Benefits and Route 65, so I'm playing the Smoke Room. That's been fun. Man. And I hope that Arches isn't the last game, because there's still more stories to tell. I'd like to actually see the fucking original Hysteria. That'd be nice. I thought that's what the Smoke Room was going to be. No, it's not. I've learned that. Thank you, comment section. Yeah. So it's weird. I'd almost don't want to end the recording, because once I do, Echo's done. It's weird. I don't know, and I don't believe there's going to be any other epilogues. There's probably going to be. They said that there's like a UI thing that's going to be reworked, or like there's obviously some typos, so there's probably going to be a patch for that. But like, this is it. I don't know. No. If you watched one episode or all of them, I hope you enjoyed it. I sure as fuck did. Support the Echo Project on Patreon. They work fucking hard, and they employ some people that I'm not too big... Well, like one person that I'm not too big a fan of. But overall... Overall, there's a lot of good people doing a lot of good work, working really hard to bring some stellar entertainment. And if you have the ability to support them, I highly recommend that you do. So, thank you all very much for watching. And I guess I'll see you on when Arches starts. Bye, everyone.